They're 2 supports and a Wind Ranger, which is really the only pickup from that pool that stands out too much. But yeah, we're getting ourselves into game number 2, and I can welcome in my co-caster. Zai is going to be joining me once again.
I am, and it's interesting that they picked up the Drone Visage. I don't think I've seen them play that before. So Team Tinker showing that they're very versatile, I guess.
Yeah, it's I completely agree with you. I was looking at that lineup and I was like, oh, we should actually talk about this because I don't think I've ever seen them run it either. So that could be something they're just pulling out, demonstrating, as you said, a widely, very wide, versatile hero pool.
Yeah.
Draft come out, Razor, Nature's Prophet going to be picked up. So again, Virtus Pro leading towards that Razor pickup. Team Tinker going to get the Skywrath Mage once again as support that they had been heavily favoring, despite the fact that I think for some teams it has dropped off a little bit.
I think it has, but if you combo it with the Faceless Void, we saw it in the Empire game. Although Empire lost, the Scarlet Void combo was very effective. So if you manage to first do Scarlet Void, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it certainly showed. Right as I glance over, I see Eternal me tweet out that if I lost that game, I would have killed myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
he was a pretty sad doom up against that Faceless Void Skywrath Mage combination as he got picked off plenty of times, over and over again before he had that BKB, and that's going to be possibly the same here for Virtus Pro. If they don't get these BKBs, that magic damage will tear them apart. The Wraith King is going to be banned away by Team Tinker, a support hero that Virtus Pro favored last time. Virtus Pro will ban away the Visage, just like you do against Cloud9. They're going to take away just the Visage in the second banning phase.
Yeah, so obviously Team Tinker showed in the previous game that they were capable of running their Jar Visage, and Virtus Pro is respecting that. Team Tinker also, by first banning the Tinker, I know VP has been running a Tinker very frequently with God playing it, and they've sort of had like this pushing lineup, right? With the Tinker.
Yep.
So both teams are respecting each other, which is good.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a bit surprised that Virtus Pro haven't that they didn't choose to pick that one up in game 1 against Team Tinker, because that's a lineup that, despite that they were running it, like the moment their lineup came together and they started playing their first officials, like that was their draft. Like that was their lineup. It was the Virtus Pro lineup with the Tinker in the mid, and then running this like 4-man push squad, whether it was with like a Pugnar, Death Prophet, or something else. It was just this 4-man push squad that the Tinker would protect them with the March and the Machine spam, as enemy teams just couldn't really, against this early push, they couldn't actively initiate on the enemy team just because they would be fighting into March of the Machines, and it was a very tough team fight to try and take. Otherwise, they would just lose towers consistently, and there would be a gigantic gold lead. So, especially with the lack of split push, we haven't really seen too many split push strategies being utilized here in the current meta.
No, they kind of fallen off as they're kind of punishable. Usually, you're able to split push and prevent the other team from pushing into your base. But nowadays, it's very easy to actually break base.
Right.
So they've kind of fallen off, yeah. We see a Shadow Demon picked up by Virtus Pro, which is a hero that we don't see that much. I think they kind of want to pick it against Void Skywrath.
Right.
But at the same time, it's very difficult to react to a Chrono and to Skywrath.
Yeah, that's.
So we'll see what they combo it with.
Honestly, I would prefer the Vengeful Spirit, which at least at level when you get to level 11, you have that level 2 ultimate. It's longer range. It's very fast reaction that you can use to be able to save your hero. You may still die just because your Vengeful Spirit will probably be sacrificed, but at the same time, it's really good mixed in with the Razor, with the minus armor being run into play, as well as if the Vengeful Spirit dies early on in the team fight, and that aura comes into play, that negative aura, that last change where the last patch change where Vengeful Spirit, when she dies, she now inflicts that minus damage aura onto the hero that she dies in an AoE as well. Actually proves to be pretty potent in some of these team fights.
Alright, so they're gonna go with the Leshrac. So they have SD Leshrac, which is a very potent support dual combo. And I assume they're gonna try and roam around. But at the same time, Team Tinker has very solid lanes with AA and Skywrath. I think those two supports might be the heroes that deal most damage at level 1. as far as support heroes goes, the chilling touch is it's crazy.
Yeah, the the Leshrac is something that Virtus Pro have been picking up a lot in the past, as they seem to be one of the few teams that really tries to use that heavy hitter. In fact, I was recently watching a Leshrac with the maxed out Lightning build, just doing so much damage in every single team fight because he was not the one being initiated on, so he would just destroy the enemy team, but constantly spamming out that lightning spam over and over again. And it seems like the lightning storm is now being prioritized over the Diabolic Edict ever since the last few patches have actually buffed up the lightning storm over and over again.
Yeah, they added that tiny little slow on each lightning buffs. And I think I'm a fan of it as well. I think not maxing your stun is usually quite good. If you could say you go like 1, 2, 4 at level 7. So you have 2 levels up in the Edict. Because even at low levels, it deals quite a lot of damage to towers.
Right.
So I think that's the optimal build, but what do I know?
What do you know? You're like one of the powerhouse teams right now. You guys just won WEC. What do you mean? What do you know? If anybody knows, it's you. Come on now.
I don't think I've ever played Leshrac, but maybe one day.
Sure. You guys don't really go towards Leshrac. Okay. Team Tinker. They. So we talked about gimmicky lineups. Troll Warlord is a hero that is full of gimmicky possibilities, but has not really been picked up too consistently. Zai, why do you think that is? Because his ultimate works with so many different heroes. Here what's going to see the Ancient Apparition, Tilling Touch mixed in with everybody getting a bunch of attack speed. Why isn't Troll seen more often when he's able to give these kind of sort of gimmicky strats?
I think one of the reasons is, and that goes for a lot of heroes in this current meta, is that he's not good against a certain pool of heroes that are, first pick material, such as Doom. I think Razor is kind of good against him, Doom and stuff like that. Troll doesn't really have a solid stun. All he has.
What? Alrighty then. We got ourselves a Meepo for Virtus Pro. Can't say I was expecting this out of their draft, but damn. So, Zai, decode that one for me.
Well, usually you want to pick Meepo when it's a really good Meepo game, but I would not recommend picking Meepo into Faceless Void.
Yeah.
That usually is not good. Well, I don't know. Obviously, I think it's something VP has prepared to pick at the Magnus, just because.
Alright, so we have even more lockdown against this Meepo between the Chronosphere mixed in with the Magnus pickup from Qualifier. Team Tinker, I believe I saw them the other day try and run a Magnus. It seems like something they're trying to bring back in. Magnus, the only time I ever see it now is with Super Stand-In Arise. Whenever he plays for a team, that seems to be the only times I really see Magnus being consistently picked up. And every other consistent team is just not really favoring that hero either.
I think Tinker's picked it a bit now in recent days. And personally, I'm a fan of the Magnus. I've even proposed the Magnus support for my team, but they do not approve of the idea.
PPD has said that you're the one who is always trying to get those somewhat questionable supports into the pool. Was it the Magnus support? There was one that PPD said you suggested that was really far out there. I think I remember asking you about it too. But
Ursa maybe?
Yeah, it was the support Ursa. Yes. Which we actually saw recently. I believe one of the Chinese teams, one of the tier 2, tier 3 Chinese teams ran a support Ursa. I believe Toby casted that game.
Yeah, and I mean, we counter ran a support Ursa. What was that versus DK? Where we killed Roshan at like minute 2. It's not really a support Ursa, but a position for Ursa.
Yeah.
As to say, anything is possible. And
so.
Max support is possible, but I was met with the argument that it's just like a worse tanking.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
I mean, the only upside to really the support Magnus being, if you do get levels. So would your idea actually be going for do you go for early levels of Empower? Like, obviously, like, maybe maxing out Shockwave. Do you go for, like, a 4-4-1 build?
I got no idea.
You haven't really thought it out too much yet? Okay.
No. Usually I used to I mean, we probably shouldn't be talking about this. We have Dota to cast.
This is true. We got Qualifier facing up against God here in the mid lane. Meepo versus a Magnus. Qualifier does seem to know that there's something fishy about. He's got 2 supports looking to gank him up. It is the Shadow Demon Leshrac combination. The disruption into the quick stun with God trying to get a poof on top of that. It's going to be a close kill. I'm not sure if they actually have enough burst damage. The stun goes out. The follow-up, Quaifa, though, doesn't have a skewer and locked up against the side will be taken down. Jottam able to claim that first blood. So nicely baited out by Virtus Pro. And they do get that really quick kill. And it looks like they are just going to be rotating back, not immediately going to the bottom lane. Where are they going? I was going to say they're going up to the top lane, but that would be with the Nature's Prophet.
They have another smoke. They got it from the corner, so now they're going to smoke again.
Oh, Jesus.
That's just brutal. Hopefully, I mean, this is one of those games that you don't really expect, but it looks like they're not going to go on mid. They're going to go on top.
Yeah, they easily could have popped Quaifa again because you already have God at level 3, has that secondary Meepo, but instead they're going to try and clean up some root here for the Furion. And if they catch the Ancient Apparition, well, actually, either one of these. I mean, both of these supports are just so squishy. They're both very aggressive, well, I would say offensive, are able to output a lot of damage, but they just wilter under any sort of direct offense like this disruption into the stun. Couple right clicks, and EGM will fall. 2-0 already in the favor of Virtus Pro, as they lost Game 1 up against Team Tinker, but are striking back hard here in Game 2 in the first few minutes.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say I'm a Meeple player, but I play quite a bit of Meeple, and I prefer going, you go 2 levels up and poof at level 3, but G does pick up the Earthbind. I guess it doesn't really matter because he's going to be level 4 anyway, but it's just something you can comment on.
Another stun on the Pycat, but this time around the tankier of the 3 heroes in this top lane. He won't be dying under that. They do manage to force him to pop a health potion. He's actually completely out of regen at this point, and may need a courier here, as they do have double couriers, by the way. A shitty wizard and a beaver knight walk into a bar.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Not really sure what to make of that one.
Probably not intended, but you never know. They actually have 2... Is that 2 smokes? No, just 1 smoke. Alright.
We are going to have a single smoke here from Bulba, as they're going to try and catch out God. If they can lead with the slow and Quaifa can wrap around behind this Meepo and skewer him back, it's a pretty quick and easy kill, especially since he's got a haste rune. Should make it rather easy. At the same time, both Jottam and Yol are just kind of hanging out here in the secret shop, waiting for another smoke gank to show up. Just waiting for the opportunity, and just being off map by themselves is putting a lot of pressure on the side of Team Tinker, as they're never sure where their 2 supports are going to come into play. Because they don't need him at bottom lane, that's for sure. Right.
Sing is not... He's not doing too well against the Razor.
Yeah. This constant static link spam, and now he's going to be running out of mana. He has no more time walk mana, and that puts him at a very precarious position. I do like the fact that God is currently stacking up this hard camp with his secondary Meepo. Be a good way to boost experience. Looks like they finally caught somebody. Disruption here at the top lane is going to go for Pycat first, but again, he is the tankier of the 3 heroes, and they won't be able to finish him off. Jottam continues to fight up against these 2 supports, but he's taken a lot of damage. In fact, this last nuke is not quite enough. An extra 10 health, but maybe it's going to be enough with Quaifa coming in from the side with the haste rune. A little bit of body block there. Jottam hiding himself in the jungles right now. Quaifa just clean through the trees and will be able to finish off that squishy support. And will also pop his invis. Nice, nice little combo for him at 4 minutes.
So I think BPC is trying to create space for this beef in the early game by having these 2 supports to roam around. But they are getting quite under level. They're both just level 2.
This is ours.
How's Meepa doing? He's gonna be clearing his stack soon. He's gonna be looking good. But Maga's also doing very well. You know, even after dying, that first death doesn't really matter because he has TPs right away.
Right. Yeah, he's actually getting more CS than the Meepo out of this lane.
Yeah.
course, the Meepo, you could say, will have a larger impact in the game, possibly, just because, well, Meepo is one of those heroes that just takes over whole entire games. So if when he clears this stack, if he's able to get, one of those fast blink daggers and a fast, level 3 ultimate, he's going to be a serious threat to heroes that, like, especially the supports. Like, one combination just pops them. Just no response whatsoever. Just the blink in poos will kill them.
Yeah, they're very fragile supports, but at the same time, there's these two heroes, Mag and Void, that can completely disrupt Meepo.
Sing does have enough mana for a time walk here, but they might actually be able to lay out enough damage here. There goes the time walk. He's not getting himself far enough away. The slow comes in, and Sing will still fall. Not enough backtrack. Johnham now is going to be almost right-click down there. Bulba not quite have enough damage at range to be able to catch him out. EGM will also fall. Another teleport comes in from Qualifier. Finishes his teleport, is going to go for BZZ with the RP. They're going to lock down BZZ and get a return kill in exchange for that ultimate, so at least they get something in return, as that Razor is a pretty high-profile kill.
Yeah, that was a good one. Qualifier showing that he's it's very rare, and teleporting into the bottom lane, picking up the kill. And in the top lane, I think Pycat tried to go on Furon, but he's kind of low, so can't really kill him.
God is going to start making his way through that stack.
Yeah, Qualifier spotted him.
Yeah, this is perfect. If he can actually steal half of this stack, beautiful. And he may even actually be able to get God if he's not careful. He has another skewer plus a shockwave up. God is desperately trying to get these last hits, but Qualifier doesn't go in for the kill.
Yeah, so that was not that bad for God. I thought it was going to be way worse, but he actually ended up picking up the majority of the last hits as well as not dying.
At least half the experience is picked up by the Magnus, no matter what happens there, so
right.
Still gets something out of it. And Hastrun, another Hastrun picked up here by Magnus. He's going to pop it here just to go into the top lane. BZZ is in not the greatest position in the world, but they're going to go for the Furion first. With the teleport in, Seedoi caught out. As long as he hits the skewer, doesn't quite get it. And instead just going to go look for the right clicks on Seedoi. BZZ comes in from behind and all of a sudden realizes there are way too many heroes for him to be fighting here. And will get taken out. Can't even get a return kill on EGM.
Yeah, he was lingering around. He was standing up here, but he actually didn't see the A and the Magnus coming. So he was like running behind the tower, trying to gank the
teleport in, yeah.
Yeah. So, he just ended up dying.
Yeah. At first it was the trap set by Virtus Pro, but the greater trap coming out from Team Tinker.
Yeah.
Meepo getting quite large here, already has his early Ogre Club, so trying to look for that fast Aghanim's as he continues to stack up. And again, another, seems like this just seems to be the flavor right now, is always having a core that can go off and do some jungle work. Yola's going to be picked off in the middle lane. Disruption goes down, will save him from now, but a skewer will still hit him. Jana, meanwhile, RP goes off on him. We have God making his way in, trying to poof. Won't be able to catch out Sing, and God will be forced back as the Cold Feet proc actually lands here. And now the last little bit of damage from Koifo will finish him off. The smoke goes off in an attempt to dodge. The tower hits. Bulba, unfortunately, was too close, but EGM does get himself out. Every single hero there from Team Tinker in the mid lane. So low.
I'm actually surprised they managed to get that Cold Feet proc off.
Yeah, that was very close.
Yeah, so they gotta kill a Meepo, and killing a Meepo is... That's how you win against Meepo. You kill Meepo. And if you manage to kill him, like... I would say, like, if you manage to kill Meepo, like, 4 or 5 times, you're in a good spot, because Meepo always gives so much experience and gold to the... Or not gold, but experience to the enemy team, because he's always so high leveled.
Right.
So every Meepo kill is very valuable.
Top lane, we do have a rotation in from Yol. He is only level 4, so I'm not sure how they're going to be able to kill... well, I was going to say the Troll, but Troll is now going into the jungle now and leaving, again, another situation where you have a core kind of abandoning the lane and in favor of being able to jungle and letting a support like Ancient Apparition being one of those perfect supports to pick up the experience instead and try and get that fast ultimate.
Yeah. It just shows that the team knows what they want to do with their heroes, and they know how to split up the farm.
Pycat using his ultimate to clear through. You also have to signal that Roshan is a distinct possibility here for Team Tinker. Even if Sing doesn't have the greatest farm in the world, they will have the Troll ultimate to be able to help them do it. It's not the most amazing team in the world to do Roshan, that's for sure, but the Troll does give them a slight advantage.
I think they can do it with the chilling touch as well.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna see a smoke out of Void and Scarab Mage on the bottom lane.
They have the double ultimates. They run into somebody, they're able to get off the Chronosphere, it'll probably be a kill.
They also see they see the Meep on the river. That Meepo is going to die.
Yep, they're going to get off the Chronosphere, still got the double damage at the same time, both BZZ and Yol, and a complete whiff there. RP goes off, they still end up getting the Meepos. Oh, Koifa also whiffing the skewer at the same time, or maybe he didn't want to bring those heroes back, because it looks like a pretty destructive team fight. We already have Seedoy being chased down by Pycat. The time walk in will slow him down enough, and a nice little time block proc will be enough to get the kill. The other two, BZZ and Yol, just going to need to run themselves away. They already lost 3 heroes in exchange for just the Skywrath Mage being picked up. Just imagine how much better that fight would have been without certain missing abilities.
I mean, you usually don't miss Skywrath ulti on a Chrono target, but
No, you usually don't. It's,
I guess Bulba got confused by the difference from the hill and the river. I'm not sure.
possibly we have 4 heroes now down here in the bottom lane for.
Fiona's gonna port on the AA, but
he kind of needs his ultimate if he wants to be able to kill that ancient apparition. And even if he does die, the important thing is AA was able to pick up his Ice Blast.
yep. And there's a void top.
Bulba is also coming in from the side. Not going to catch out the Seedoy Furion just yet.
Yeah, that was quite an obvious bait coming out from EGM on that AA. But I think Bulba might be able to catch him with his concussive shot. No.
Seedoy just standing barely outside the range. God definitely needs some more recovery here. He's now got 3 Meepos, which is nice, but at this rate, he's going to be very delayed in his Aghanim's Blink Dagger, already dying twice.
Yeah. And not having, like, you want to have your Ags, preferably you're like before the 15-minute mark or around the 15-minute mark. But by the way this game is going, I don't think he's going to have it by that time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have an impact right now. He's quite fragile, and if he gets Chrono or RP'd, he's just gonna die.
He's not really, he's not really gonna have a much of an impact later on into the game when the Faceless Void kind of takes over and becomes this incredible, just right-click hero that disables from Team Tinker, just gonna crush a Meepo in the late game.
Yeah.
So, definitely need to be snowballing much harder. Whoa, there, Koifa. That's strike number 3, I think, for Team Tinker when it comes to Miss Ultimate. The Chronosphere will not miss, and good job, Bulba. Landed a beautiful Skywrath Mage Ultimate. What skill from this player.
Yep.
Remember, Zai, you said in the lobby you want to be like that guy. Oh, Skewer almost caught Yol there. Not quite enough, though.
And they're going to push top tower with the Troll and AA. But Fiona's up there to defend. Should be okay.
Still, though, just a little bit of poking action. And Pycat, what do you usually want to see here from Troll Warlord? I mean, when Troll is being picked up consistently by Mousesports, it was the mech, but that was just Feta being Feta. What do you like to see on a carry Troll?
I actually kind of like the mech pickup. I think a mech in this game would be pretty good because they don't really have any other hero that could go mech. If he doesn't buy a mech, they're not going to end up having a mech.
That's
so. He has 2.3k gold, so he could buy it right away. Otherwise, I guess, I don't know, he's gonna go something like drums into, or maybe Alma Dominator. I'm not really sure.
Koifa does not have an RP for another 35 seconds. He's just gonna try and harass Virtus Pros. They're going for this tier 2 in the middle lane. BZZ also being forced back. The mech is going to be used here from the Razor. And looks like tier 2 is going to be given up. Skewer back into 2 there as Koifa gets a decent amount of nuking damage on Seedoy, but it's not going to be enough. Now Koifa's going to be caught by the nets, and they will be taken out by the Mass Poop. Ice Blast will finish off the Meepo. Koifa, Pycat now fighting up against BZZ, will lose his life eventually as the Purge goes off. Sing Sing also in some trouble here. Seedoy, just barely lives through that cold feet. And Team Tinker forced back, losing 2 for 2, but the tier 2 tower is still going the way of Virtus Pro. Pretty favorable engagement, except for the fact they lost the Meepo, which they desperately needed him to survive through these team fights and get that Ags finished.
Yeah. On the positive side, though, they did get the tower, as you said, so Meepo's really close to Zags. He only needs 150 gold. So I think if they manage to keep the pressure up, I guess, It's good. Because they need to constantly create space for this meepo. And this meepo is going to die.
Yep, here comes the Chronosphere and a single Meepo. So much damage. Even with the extra magic resistance that Meepo has, he didn't really stand a chance there.
And now meepo's not close to his eggs anymore. Or well, he's close, but he's yet to move far.
Yeah, just delayed even further, which is unfortunate because he was just so close. Now we have the rest of Virtus Pro. Looks like they're going to go for a push top lane. If they finish off this tier 1 tower, that will give Meepo his Aghanims, and he can start focusing on the Blink Dagger pickup next. This time around, though, Qualifier does have his RP, and it looks like he's ready for a fight here. As almost scattered out here by this Treant. Not quite enough. He's going to wrap around Qualifier, looking for Seedoy. The teleport's going to be finishing up, and does catch out. Just the one with the RP. Still, though, the Ice Blast coming up. No, not quite yet. EGM will now throw it. Anticipating the disruption. Very well played. Seedoy may tick out here. The last right click will do the trick. And BZZ is going to be forced away as the miss percentage chance, making it hard. He's going to go for EGM. Still gets that one kill. Pycat going out pretty deep here against Yol. Gets hit by the stun. And now the turnaround. Pycat will be taken down. Couldn't quite finish off Yol. And Koifa blinking up, looking for Yol. Is going to catch him out and actually jukes the rest of Virtus Pro in the process of getting that kill. Virtus Pro, God is here now. And he's trying to wrap around behind the tier 1 tower. Will hit the net onto Koifa. Koifa has that skewer, though. We'll be able to get some distance away before the poof lands. And even if they do get this tier 1 tower in the top lane, looks like Sing Sing may be able to claim this bottom tier 1 tower in exchange.
Yeah, and that seems... no, actually, that's probably in VP's favor. They're not even going to lose bottom tower.
Sing Sing commits to it, does get the tower kill, but Sing Sing managed to time walk away. The net, oh! The last half second, all that was required for Sing Sing to teleport away. The net lands right before. BZZ stealing away, a lot of Koifa's damage here, and Koifa will be forced back. Just simply blinks himself away. And now another tower. Virtus Pro continuing this march as they take more and more tower control. They're going to go for this bottom lane, and if God actually gets this last hit, while also getting the creep wave, he's going to be really close to the Blink Dagger, which is now prime time for Meepo.
Yeah, and hopefully... No, it's good. They're not going to get the tower. It's going to get denied.
Yeah, it looks like Pycat's going to be able to force them back. Koifa was looking to maybe leap across the cliff there, but isn't going to find it. You're right. Denied tower. Still, though, some extra gold for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, I think Koifa's... He doesn't really want to do, you know, the risky jumps yet before he has his force stuff. Although you do have... He does have a haste rune, so I mean, he could go for it.
Yeah, BZZ pushed back right into Sing Sing, who's going to come in with the Chronosphere. Nicely played, and they'll drop the ultimate as well just to be able to finish off that tanky Razor. So, very well executed gank there from Team Tinker, finding a free pickoff. Of course, the hero they really need to be concerned about is God, who's going to finish up his Blink Dagger before the next engagement.
Are they going to rush? No, they get spotted by Illusion.
A 3,000 gold lead. Team Tinker is still holding a 5,000 experience lead after some of these team fights and pickoffs going their way. It's all about the towers right now for Virtus Pro, and it's the only reason they're actually ahead in gold. So if the team fight turns sour and Team Tinker manage to take map control and push down some towers of their own, you're going to see that gold lead drop pretty quickly. But it's hard to see how that's going to happen with a Blink Dagger Meepo. If they have if they initiate first, I don't think Team Tinker can actually respond very well. So there goes the disruption. Follow up with the Nets is going to catch out Pycat. The Ice Blast is coming in. It's going to hit at least one of these Meepos. Two, actually. Seedoy turns on his Blade Mail, turns it around on Boba, who already takes a lot of damage there. Seedoy, Blade Mail will run out. He'll be taken down by the last nuke there from Boba. The rest of Virtus Pro squad backing themselves up. Sing Sing up. Koifa actually gets an RP on two. Sing Sing will jump forward and finish off those two squishy supports. And God actually wants to go in here with the rest of BZZ coming in from the side. Poof will be able to pop the Ancient Apparition. One last attack will get the Skywrath Mage as well. And Koifa will back himself up, and Sing Sing will do the same. They can't really fight up against this. Buyback from the Troll, and they're going to go for Sing Sing. Now the Poofs, time walk away, right at the right time. BZZ is going to try and finish him off. Gets him with the last right click, just barely. And now Pycat trying to slow down BZZ. Koifa catching up with the Skewer. Not going to hit that one. Shockwave for it. They'll finish him off. And Pycat, in the end of the day, will make his buyback worth it, as he gets that kill on BZZ, which is pretty important, but still. Cost him a bit of gold, and if he actually dies here, going to be hit by the net. Follow up with the Poofs come in. Dodges some of the damage, though. and he
He's
will
on
be
a
able to get
mana.
himself back.
Yeah, he's on a man on the meeple, so he can't keep casting that Wraithbind.
Yeah, Cito is still going to fight here. Johnham will be able to get the stun onto Quake, but the Ice Blast comes in. Only going to clip some of these heroes, but still, it's enough to finish off the Leshrac. Pycat getting low, EGM as well with the Diabolic Edict. Not quite enough, and Cito will now die as Boba finishes him off. Yo pursuing here on the left-hand side with the Blink Dagger pickup is not going to be able to find Koifa with those Shadow Poisons and misses out another critical kill. Team Tinker, they may have lost Pycat. Kind of a dieback, but worth it, definitely, as they got a number of kills off of that one.
Yeah. And Meeple did not die, so that is good. I'm kind of surprised that there's been so many engagements. I don't think this is how Tinker should play this game. They're kind of just running into to VP, but I think VP is very strong right now. I mean, Meeple's basically in his prime. He's level 17 with the Blink Dagger, with the Dags. I think they should just focus on trying to pick the Meeple off with either RP or Chrono.
Top lane, we do have BZZ kind of looking at Sing Sing here and measuring up, seeing whether or not they can actually get this kill. The Purge is going to go first, followed Disruption with Plasma Field missing because of that one. Sing Sing may actually try and turn this one. Chronosphere being laid down, has to run himself away from the Static Link first before he goes back in. BZZ is going to be tanky enough to survive through this for a while. Stun comes out from Johnham, will be able to land that on two. Trying to finish off these heroes, will be able to get both of them quite, but yes, he does die. Cito now moving on to Pycat. Diabolic Edict doing some decent amount of damage. Yo blinks himself forward with the double damage, but doesn't have any extra mana to go for additional pickoff. At the same time, the Meepo wasn't even in that fight. Claimed himself a tier 2. And might he be able to get a secondary one?
Yeah, no, he's just gonna go Roche. Right. Meepo kills Roshan so quickly, and since Team Tinker's dead, can't really contest it.
And if they're going to test anything, it's going to be this top lane, where the tier 2. Cito manages to get a block off there with a Sprout. Nice vision, though. That is the issue with Skywrath Mage. So many of his abilities giving vision like that is a hassle, to say the least.
Yeah. And Sidoi did not expect Steeper to be cancelled, so he didn't activate his Blade Mail.
Yeah.
But if he did, he could have actually killed the Skywrath. So that's unfortunate. But Meepo does kill the Roshan, and he ends up picking up Dagus. And the Meepo with Dagus is incredibly strong. Because usually when you play Meepo, you want to be, you want to make sure that you're kind of safe. Because if you die, it's such a big deal. But if you have the Aegis, you can just go haywire.
Yeah, it seems similar to like a Storm Spirit where you just like dive in, you kind of get this guaranteed kill. If you die, you die. It's like really not that big of a deal because you sort of won the team fight by getting that one pick off.
And I think they might be able to break base and maybe. It depends on if he goes for a Hex, maybe not, but if he goes for more stat items, I think they should be good to go.
We do have a smoke rotation from Team Tinker. They do have EGM with an Ancient Apparition Aghanim Scepter, which is a really devastating thing for a Meepo. Especially with all these gigantic disables. Looks like they're going to try and go for BZZ. Force Staff forward, just a simple RP to try and guarantee the kill. Beautiful Disruption being laid down. Follow up Chronosphere. BZZ activates his BKB now. Ice Blast is going to hit Yo in the background. Chronosphere doesn't actually hit BZZ. Still able to get a good amount of damage. God comes in from the right side though with Citoi. Already eliminating one support. Boba in some trouble. He's going to be fighting up against Citoi's right clicks. That will overwhelm him as well. And now the pursuit continues. God looking for another net. Link away by Koifa will get him out of dodge. But still, Virtus Pro, a 1-for-2 exchange there. Got to the sports in exchange for the core. They feel like that's enough to go uphill. Especially if Koifa ends up getting caught out. Skewer back in, 4-staff away as well. And will be able to get back, but a lot of big ultimates being used there. The RP especially is what Virtus Pro is going to have so much confidence pushing uphill. Or at least to force the glyph.
Yeah, they used all of these ultis on the Razor, but they kind of like miscommunicated it. So Sing Sing ended up hesitating with his Chrono, and Razor ended up living for a long time and actually damaging, I think, almost all of Team Tinker by quite a bit, and then they could just clean up.
Right.
So what did... he hasn't pushed anything on Meepo yet.
Yeah, not quite yet. He's got 2,900 gold. Looks like he may be going for the Scythe of Ice build, but we'll see how it goes. Jotum is going to be trying to tank up a little bit more on his Leshrac, has an Ogre Club, maybe building that into an early BKB.
I kind of spot the troll.
Yep, this is a pretty beautiful pickoff if they can get it. Disruption into the follow-up Purge, and with Seedoy coming in as well. And this percentage chance is going to be able to allow Pycat to live for a lot longer, but he's still going to, in the end, surrounded by 4 heroes, die.
And it is a Hex for the Meepo. So they have a Hex, they have the Aegis, and I think they can just win the game. Honestly, I think they're in a position so that they can win the game. They have the BKB and Razor, he has a mech, Seedoy has a Mjolnir, and I think they're very strong right now.
They're going to need a beautiful initiation here from Qualifier. God's going to be leading in. Qualifier already throwing out a skewer on the side, and God is in a great position, already chasing away Sing Sing. Chronosphere going to be used there. They've already picked off the Ancient Apparition. Chronosphere was used defensively there. Really nothing gained for Team Tinker so far. They're going to move on to Bulba next, who drops the ultimate onto the Meepo, but heavily mitigated by the sheer number of units, and now it's going to be the Tier 3 tower going down. Raxes are up next, and it doesn't look like Team Tinker actually have a response here. Pycat's still down for another 3 seconds, but that's enough time for both these buildings to go down. Koifa once again going to be forced back by God. And Virtus Pro, well, this is greedy. It looks like they're going to go full hog here and go for the Tier 3 in the middle lane as well, right as all 3 cores are up. The Chronosphere is still down, though. And again, gives them the confidence to keep moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, they have the RP, but they don't want to
There goes that Scythe of Ice. Koifa going to be popped real quickly, and without that RP, how can they possibly fight this one? Pycat surrounded. Sing Sing also going to go down here as the disruption will save BZZ for the time being. Still going to be able to pick him off as both the Meepo as well as the Razor goes down. Aegis being burnt. God comes right back up and will target EGM, who has no way to be able to defend himself against this one. Go right back to the middle Raxes, and it looks like, yep, GG is going to be called by Team Tinker. So game number 2 going the way of Virtus Pro, and they're going to even out this series and push this to a game number 3.
Interesting Meepo pickup that ended up working out for them, even though I didn't think it would. And also some lackluster team fighting coming out from Team Tinker, I think. If they coordinated their ultimates better, I think they could have taken this game.
Yep, Virtus Pro, after what was a pretty rough start there, still managed to pull out a big win here in game number 2. And just a few minutes, guys, a bit of a break, and we'll be back with game number 3, the last game of the night for the ESL 1 New